Hey everyone, welcome back to the Unshaken Woman podcast. My name is Adele Skinner. I am a feminine energy and inner work coach. I help women step into their femininity and heal from trauma to choose the life that they want to live, regardless of the circumstances that they may find themselves in. So if this sounds like something that you want to be part of, go ahead and click the links below. You can subscribe to this video. You can also connect with me through my private Facebook group or through private coaching. All right, let's get into this week's episode. So there is something that happens as we are healing through trauma, as we are trying to change the life that we're living right now, that can feel like a step backwards if you don't understand what's happening. So I want to explain this part of healing so that you don't get frustrated. This is something that happens constantly. This is just part of the process of healing. And it is the fact that it's going to look a little bit messy before it looks the way that you want it to look. And I feel like we can see that in pretty much everything. It's a pattern of life. So have you ever cleaned out your closet? And the minute you start cleaning it out, it gets incredibly messy and it's just complete chaos. You have to pull everything out of the cupboards, you take everything off the hangers, you kind of just pile everything onto your bed. And this gives you the opportunity to sort through these items to see whether or not they add value to your life and whether or not you want to keep them in your life. Healing is very much the same way. It's going to look very, very messy before it starts to look organized, before it starts to take shape, before it looks like what you are wanting to accomplish. So don't get frustrated. Don't get scared. It's part of the process. It's very, very normal and it's very natural. So when you are healing and you're having all of these things come up, it is exactly like clearing out your closet. You're going to look at these beliefs that are coming up and you're going to decide, is this something that I want to take with me into my future? Is this something that is adding value to who I want to be and who I'm wanting to become? So when you start to heal, the first thing that I tell my clients to do is to start meditating. Get quiet and let yourself feel these different feelings. This is exactly like pulling everything out of your closet and putting it on your bed. You're going to get really quiet and you're going to feel the feelings. And don't be afraid, but you are going to feel lots of, I don't like to use the term negative emotions because I don't really feel like there's really any negative emotion. Emotions are messengers. They tell us things that either we believe or things that are coming up to be healed. So as you're sitting through this meditation, through these meditations of just sitting in silence, these thoughts may come to you of, maybe I'm not enough, or these fears, or your mind might start telling you stories of why you can't let go of certain beliefs, or why you can't move forward, or why you don't deserve to move forward, or why, maybe this type of a life, it works for other people, but it doesn't work for you. It's very normal. It's very, very normal for these thoughts to be coming up. So don't shame them. That is one of the first things that I want to tell you is not to shame them. It's exactly like if you were to have all of the clothes on your bed and you pull out some clothes that you had worn maybe in high school and you look at them and be like, that's insane. I can't believe that I liked this style. I can't believe that I wore this. I can't believe whatever thoughts you may be having. There's no point in shaming it. It's part of your past. It's something that at the time served you. At the time you thought it worked well for you. It doesn't mean that you have to take it with you. It doesn't mean that you have to hate the younger version of you that maybe thought that item of clothing was of value. It's just part of who you used to be, and it doesn't serve you anymore. So you can simply be like, oh yeah, I remember when I wore this. I remember what happened. I remember the circumstances or whatever it is, and then say, but this doesn't really serve me anymore. I'm going to let it go, and you can let it go. Now, obviously, it's so much easier to do that in physical form, right? It's so much easier to do that when you're actually cleaning out your closet versus when you're going through your emotions, because our emotions are so connected to our identity. We naturally will connect them to like, well, this is just who I am. I can't change it. But you can absolutely change it. You can absolutely change who you are. That's one of the most beautiful things about being a woman is one day you can be one way and you can make a decision and the next day be completely different. Women are so fluid and we're so flowing. That is our natural energy. We can change at the drop of a hat. Now, sometimes that can be, termed as negative or, oh, you're so flighty or you're so unpredictable. No, it is a woman's superpower to be able to change in an instant from one thing to another, from one way of thinking to another. So when you're wanting to heal and when you're wanting to grow and you're wanting to change, being a woman and embracing that feminine quality that you have of being able to be fluid and changing is one of the best things you can do. And she'd be like, no, this is my nature. I'm constantly changing. Things constantly change for me. You think about our cycle. We are constantly changing who we are depending on different days of the month and where we are. And that's not by accident. That is by design, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So instead of shaming it, instead of being embarrassed of it, or instead of fighting it and being irritated with it, what if we embrace it? What if we embrace that part of being a woman and be so grateful that we do get to change? Every single day is a new day for us, and we get to change what goes with us into the future. So things that aren't serving us, if there's a thought that comes up and you feel in your body like, oh, I don't like that thought, I don't like how that thought makes me feel, then you pretend that you are clearing out your closet and you evaluate that and you think, does this thought add value to who I'm wanting to be? Is this thought helping me to move forward as the woman that I want to become? And if you cannot answer yes to that, then that means that thought needs to go away. Now, I will a lot of times interchange thought and emotion. That is because a thought will create an emotion. Like you can have a thought of, I'm afraid of moving forward, or I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to become this person that I want to be. You may think that thought and immediately your body is going to have an emotional reaction to that. And you're going to feel fear. You're going to feel tightness in your chest. You're going to feel tightness in your stomach. Just because you're having a thought, that does not mean that it is true or that it is valuable or that it is going to control you. Like you get to choose the thoughts that you're thinking, right? You get to choose the thoughts that go through your mind. One may come in, or a couple of them may come in uninvited sometimes, right? Like we're not consciously always choosing every single thought that comes in, but we can absolutely choose whether or not that thought stays and whether or not we add value to that thought or we allow that thought to continue to move forward. So if there is a thought that comes into your mind and immediately you're just like, oh, that feels really scary or stressful, I want you to evaluate that. It's okay for you to feel fear. Fear could also mean just like uncertainty, unsurety. So you can maybe feel maybe a little bit of fear. So for example, say you're wanting to start a business. So you may feel a little bit of fear behind that, right? That's not necessarily saying that starting that business is wrong. You're going to have that feeling of fear because your mind is telling you stories about the direction that you're wanting to go. This is where you get to metaphorically clear out the closet and pull it out and say, okay, is this fear and is this thought or is this feeling telling me this isn't safe, I shouldn't do it? Listen to your body, because if that's what you're feeling, you need to get rid of that. That's not the right direction that you need to be moving. Or are you feeling something more like, oh my gosh, this is scary, but I feel like this is what I need to do? You can feel scared, you can feel fear, and still know that you are moving in the right direction. I promise you can. You can also feel fear and say, this does not feel good for me. This is not right. This is not the direction that I want to go. That is why it's so important for you to sit quietly with your feelings, for you to learn how to meditate, for you to learn how to be silent and to be able to really connect with what it is you're feeling, because your body is the best compass. Your emotions are the best compass that you have. So you need to connect to them, and that is feminine energy, like completely and totally being able to connect with your body, being able to connect with your emotions and your feelings, and connect to your intuition, because your emotions and your feelings are connected to your intuition. but you have to be very clear on what it is they are telling you. And you can do this by slowing down and by getting quiet with your feelings and with your thoughts. I hope that made some sense, because I know it can be a little bit confusing, but yes, your emotions are going to tell you whether or not something is right or wrong for you, and you feel it in your body. So if you feel like a tightness and discomfort and just absolute constriction in your body, that's a pretty good indication that maybe this isn't right. Or if you're feeling like the excitement, the fluttering in your heart, and you're just like, this is so scary, but this is so exciting. Like going on a roller coaster, right? Like as you're going up, you might be like, oh my gosh, like this is so scary, but also you're very excited for it. So listen to the emotions, listen to the feelings that your body is telling you. So I have a couple of ways that you can easily connect to these emotions that your body is telling you. And that is through the GRACE model. And I have taught this model multiple times. This GRACE model is so applicable in so many different circumstances. If you're coming up against a trigger, the GRACE model is going to help you work through it. If you are just trying to learn how to connect to your body and be like, all right, what is it that you are telling me? You have to disconnect from the stories that your mind is telling you, the thoughts that you are thinking, because your thoughts are going to cause you to feel a certain feeling. And if you're wanting to get really clear on what is it that I'm feeling and what is my body trying to tell me, you must connect to that part of you, that feminine energy, the intuition, that, the part of your body that is telling you what it is you need to do. So the first way to do this, or the first step, is by grounding yourself. You need to allow yourself to be still. Sometimes this can be really hard, especially if you're used to a lot of stimulation, if you're used to a lot of noise, a lot of movement, if you're really like a fast-paced person. Getting really connected to your body can feel very uncomfortable at first, but I promise you, it is going to make all the difference. It will make clearing out your closet so much easier and so much faster, because you'll be able to quickly connect to your emotions and be like, is this something that I want to keep? Yes or no? And immediately you get to let it go. And just like when you're clearing out your closet, you need to do it quickly. You'll look at an outfit. Is this something that I like? Is this something that I want? Does this add value? Yes or no? Either put it in the yes bin or the no bin. So when you are connecting with your body, you're going to ground yourself, which just means that you are going to pull yourself out of your mind and into your body center. This is really best done if you can go outside. If you can take off your shoes, you can walk in the grass or put your feet in the dirt and just really connect to the ground, to the earth. If you can't do that, another good way is just by breathing really nice and deep and noticing where your body is touching the surfaces around you. If you're sitting, if you're standing, if you're laying down, breathing deeply and just noticing, where am I touching the earth, or where's my body touching? And this, again, helps pull you out of your brain and into your body. You're noticing, well, my feet feel like this, or, if I'm sitting, this is what the back of my legs are doing, or if I'm laying down, this is how my back feels, whatever it is, connecting that way. And then once you've pulled yourself out of your mind and you're not spinning and you're not creating all these different stories in your head, then you can go into your emotions. Like, what am I feeling? What is it that I'm feeling, and where am I feeling this? So there are different places in your body that you may feel tightness or excitement, depending on what emotion it is you're feeling. Your chest, sometimes my throat will get tight, my stomach, some different places that I will feel the energy in my body. And so you can notice, like, where am I feeling tight? Where is it that I notice sometimes I'll feel like a buzzing sensation. Sometimes it'll be like in my head, where I just feel really lots of buzzing, just wherever in your body, just different sensations. At first, you might just feel like you're crazy because you're like, I don't feel anything, I don't notice anything, and that's fine, all right? This is a process. This takes practice, this takes learning, and this takes recognizing and feeling the feelings so that down the road you can recognize them. When I first started doing this, I really just spent so much time in silence, not necessarily going through each one of these steps, because I just needed to be still and I needed to be silent. But after I found these, after I started doing these different steps, it made connecting to myself so much easier. So I want to teach that to you guys so that you can almost like jump ahead from where I was. It took me months to figure out how to do this. So I want to give this to you now so you can heal quicker and faster and get to where you want to be so much faster than it took me. So once you've connected to your body and you felt, okay, this is where I'm feeling it, then try to figure out, like, what is it that I'm feeling? Am I feeling fear? Am I feeling sadness? Am I feeling anger? Like, what is it that I'm feeling? And what story or what message is this feeling trying to tell me? What is it trying to teach me? What is it that I am supposed to gather from this? So you're going to feel it. And the most important thing that you can do is to not shame it. Remember, we talked a little bit earlier, when you pull out an emotion or when you pull out an item of clothing, there's no point in shaming it. It is part of your past. It's something that was there in your closet, or it was there in your mind or your heart. It's there. We don't need to shame it. Now we can just decide, is this something we want to keep, or is this something that we want to let go of? And if it's something that you're ready to let go of, you can send love. Be like, oh, thank you so much for whatever it is that you brought into my life. I don't see a point in keeping this. This isn't adding value. I'm ready to let it go. And you can just metaphorically, just like with an item of clothing, you can see yourself setting that aside and say, that is not serving me anymore. That is not something that I want to carry with me. Now, I am a very visual person, so I do like to almost visualize myself taking these emotions that I have felt and maybe putting them in a box and saying, thank you for what you have given to me. Thank you for the message that you have shared. This is not something that I want to take with me. You can metaphorically put it in a box and send it on its way. Another thing that I have done is I've just breathed into that feeling. So wherever it is you feel it, like a lot of times I will feel it in my chest or my stomach, typically is where I will feel my emotions. And so I can just breathe into that. You can feel the tightness. Like, okay, I feel it. I can feel it right there. And just relax into it and breathe into it. And just let it be there. We don't have to try to, we don't need to talk ourselves out of it. We don't need to be upset with ourselves for it being there. We're just going to let it sit there, and we're going to feel it, and we're going to send so much love to it, and we're just going to let it dissipate. And oftentimes it will dissipate very quickly when you are able to absolutely let it be there without any shame or guilt or frustration, which can be really hard, right? Like when we're feeling a negative emotion or emotion that we don't want to feel, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to resist it, and you're going to want to tell yourself why you shouldn't be feeling it. You're going to want to tell yourself different stories like, oh, it's fine. Like I don't feel that, or this is why I shouldn't, or, oh, everything is going so good for me. I don't know why I have these feelings. Don't try to justify. Don't try to understand. Like, don't try to get rid of it. Just let it be where it needs to be and send so much love to it. I like to think of my emotions a lot of times as a child. You know, if a child is crying and a child is upset, do you need to know why? Do you always need to know exactly why the child is upset? Or does that child just need a little bit of love and comfort, and then they're off playing again? Have you ever been to like play dates or play groups and there's children there, and you know, maybe a child, something happens, the moms are talking, they don't really know what happened, a child ran up crying, so the mom loves him and kisses him and says, oh, you know, I love you so much, and the next thing you know, the kid's running off and they're fine. All it needed was a little bit of love, a little bit of attention, knowing that it was safe, knowing that it was okay, and then it was fine. Our emotions are very much the same way. And it can get frustrating. I've been there, you guys. Like, I have been there. I've been frustrated. It's been difficult sometimes to just let the emotions be there. But I promise you, if you can just let yourself love yourself through this process, they will go so much faster, and you'll be able to get rid of them, and you'll move into an emotion of peace and joy and excitement and the feelings that you're wanting to feel, the feelings that you want to choose. So once you have loved that part of you, and once you have been like, okay, this is what I was feeling, these are, you know, it was there, and I love it, and it's fine, and I'm okay, and I am present with myself, and it's okay. I love myself through all of it. Once those feelings kind of dissipate, then you can move into, okay, who do I want to be? Like, who am I wanting to become? What kind of a woman do I want to become? And then you can choose the thoughts and the emotions that go with you into this next step. I love this step. This is the connecting step, where you've gotten rid of again, if we're going to use the clothing, we've gotten rid of all the clothing that we don't wear, that we don't want, that doesn't serve us anymore. We've gotten rid of all of those emotions. They're not who we want to be. They're not what we want to take with us into the future. So now we get to ask, okay, now of what is left, what is it that I want to take with me? What kind of a person do I want to be? How do I want to show up? And then you get to choose. It's like going shopping for a whole new wardrobe. Now you get to choose. All right, I got rid of all of my old clothing. I got rid of everything that I wore back in high school. That style doesn't serve me anymore. I get to reinvent myself. Maybe I want to, wear more dresses. Maybe I want to do more of like the business casual. Maybe I want to just be more casual. Like, you get to choose. And just like you get to choose your style, you get to choose the emotions and the feelings that you're stepping forward with. I want to be more positive. I want to be more grateful. I want to be more joyful. I want to be more present. Like, what is it that you want to take with you? And the best part is, I always invite my Heavenly Father and my Heavenly Mother into this process with me. So I always ask, all right, who do you guys want me to be on the other side of this? What kind of a woman do you want me to be? Because they know me better than I know myself. They knew me before I came to earth. They know my potential. They know what is going to bring me so much happiness. And if I can surrender that to them and say, all right, I'm a blank canvas. It's like going to a stylist, right? Like, you can go to the stylist and be like, all right, tell me what makeup is going to look best on me. Tell me what colors are going to look best on me. Tell me what styles will flatter me the most. That's exactly what you're doing. This is like a metaphorical makeover. You're going to your heavenly parents and being like, all right, I've gotten rid of all of the old stuff. I've gotten rid of all of the old baggage. I want to be made into a new person. What will serve me best? What is going to help me to become the woman that I want to become? And just like with a stylist, you can either take their advice and you can transform and become this woman that you want to be with a look, or you can ignore it and say, actually, never mind, that's too hard, or I don't want to do that, or whatever. It's the exact same thing with your inner work, with the woman that you're wanting to become. And just like when you go to a stylist, there is going to be work involved. You're going to have to learn how to do your makeup a new way. You're going to have to learn how to shop in a way that best suits you. You're going to have to learn the colors that work best for you. There is work involved to transform the outer appearance. And it's exactly the same way. There is going to be work involved to transform the inner appearance. Like, you're going to have to consciously choose the emotions that you want to. Consciously choose the thoughts that are going to move you forward as the woman that you want to become. This isn't just like a one and done thing. This isn't just like, oh, show me who you want to be, and suddenly it's easy and it's just simple and you naturally become this woman. There is going to be work and practice and forming of habits involved. You're going to need to let go of the thoughts continuously that don't serve you until it becomes a habit to choose the thoughts that you want to feel, or the thoughts that you want to think, so you can choose the feelings that you're going to feel. It's exactly the same way, you guys. So don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated with the fact that, oh my gosh, I'm doing this again. I'm feeling these emotions again. Yeah, it's going to happen. You're going to clear out your closet. You're going to choose what you want and what you want to let go of. And then you have to make your conscious effort to continue moving forward with the outward appearance that you're looking for. And it's the same with inner work. Get rid of the emotions that you don't like, the emotions that are not serving you, the thoughts that are not serving you. That is the most important, because your thoughts will create your emotions. So if you are feeling a feeling that you don't like, then you need to look at the thought that is creating that feeling. Because I guarantee you, if you are feeling something that you don't like feeling, then you are thinking a thought that is not serving you and that you don't actually want to keep. Sometimes we think we want to keep these thoughts. Sometimes we think, no, these thoughts are keeping me safe. They're protecting me. They're making sure that I'm not being taken advantage of. But if you're not feeling the way you want to be feeling, then I promise you, you're not thinking what you need to be thinking. And that's where you need to change. That's where you can connect with God and say, all right, what do I need to be thinking? What can I let go of? So many times we think that we are trapped by the thoughts that we are thinking. We feel like we can't change them, but you can 100% change the thoughts that you are thinking inside your head. You can think things like, nobody will ever take me seriously, or it's not safe to trust people, or I always get taken advantage of. You can think those thoughts if you want to. And those thoughts are going to give you a result of fear and not being able to trust people and not being able to move forward because you're afraid of what might happen to you. Or you can change your thoughts and you can choose to think something more along the lines of, I naturally know who to trust. I naturally gravitate towards people and towards ideas or circumstances or opportunities that are going to serve me and bless me. I trust my intuition. I trust the feelings that I feel about people or circumstances or opportunities. When you change those thoughts into, I am safe, I know what's safe, I am protected, I am taken care of, you change the feelings that you're feeling and you will actually change the reality that you are living. So when you think the thoughts of, I'm not safe, I'm not taken care of, you will not be safe and you will not be taken care of because you're putting out that energy of, I'm not safe, I'm not taken care of. So people who are going to take advantage of other people are going to be drawn to you because you are putting out that energy of, come take advantage of me. I am easily taken advantage of. So it's like putting out like this radar of, hey, come take advantage of me. If you can change your thoughts and you can change your beliefs around this of, I am protected. I attract things that serve me. I attract people that are honest and that want to help me. I trust my intuition. I trust how I feel. When you change those, you will naturally be opening up your intuition to be like, oh, this feels really good and I feel really good about this opportunity. Therefore, you're going to move forward with it and it's going to be so wonderful. Or you're going to have feelings around certain things and be like, ooh, this sounds good. Like on paper, it sounds really good, but there's something in my body that's telling me, I don't like this. This feels uncomfortable. You listen to that because what you've done is you've connected yourself to your intuition and you're telling yourself, hey, I know when something is good for me or not good for me. You're changing the way that you're showing up just by changing your thoughts. All you did was change your thoughts. You naturally change the energy that you're putting out towards people. You change the way you're connecting to yourself. You've changed the way that you've connected to your intuition. You've changed everything. So the thoughts that you're thinking are so important and you get to choose them. You get to decide whether or not they serve you and what type of thoughts that you're wanting to feel. Go to your heavenly parents and ask them. Ask them for these things. Ask them to help you to live in a way that is in alignment to how they see you or who you have the potential to become. So don't get frustrated when things start to feel messy or when you start to feel some of these emotions come up. It kind of goes like this, all right? When you're first healing, you're going to go kind of down like this and you're going to feel a lot of those emotions and you're going to need to metaphorically clear them out just like with a closet. And then you're going to come up and you're going to feel really good and you're going to be doing great. And then there's going to be another wave of emotions that you're going to need to get rid of or thoughts that you're going to need to get rid of. These limiting beliefs. Now that you've grown to this level, these thoughts that you used to think and believe, they no longer serve you. They need to be cleared out so that you can grow again and so that you can grow again. It's just like climbing a ladder or going up steps. You can't get from step 1 to step 20. That would be impossible. But you can go from step 1 to step 2 and you can feel really good right here in step 2. But if you're wanting to get up to step 3, you have to let go of those thoughts that are not serving you, that are not helping you. So you're going to go through that process of clearing things out, and it's okay. Go through the grace model if you need to, or just really connect to yourself and say, all right, I'm going to love myself in this process. There's no reason to hate any of the thoughts or the feelings that I'm feeling. I can just choose whether or not I want them. And then you can ask, all right, now that I'm at this step, who do you want me to become? How do you want me to show up? And then you're ready for step 3. So then there you are. You're feeling really good right at step 3. And it's going to continue. And it's going to continue. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean that you have failed. It doesn't mean that you're going backwards. There's times when I've called my mentor when I'm going through this, and I think I am going backwards. Like, why? I felt so good last week, and now I feel so bad. Like, I'm feeling so much anxiety, and I'm feeling so many different things that are hard for me. What is going on? And it's just that I'm ready for that next step. You know that you're ready to level up. You know that you're ready to purge and get rid of the old things that aren't serving you when you start to feel quote unquote negative feelings, when you start to feel more anxiety. And instead of it frustrating you, instead of it making you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm failing, it should be a really good sign that you're leveling up, that you are ready to move to the next stage. Now, just like anybody, I'm right there with you guys. There's times when I resist. I'm like, I don't want to feel those feelings. And so sometimes I will distract, or I will do things to keep myself from thinking certain thoughts or ruminating in certain thoughts. And that's okay. I can also love myself through that and be like, it's all right, Adele. We're just going to distract today. We are not going to move into our feelings, and that's okay. That's today. But if you can love yourself through it and be like, yep, that's just what I'm choosing today. Love yourself through it, and I promise you that when you're ready, you will naturally move into it, and you will be so excited and ready to purge and get through it. Don't hate yourself through any of this process, you guys. Even if you're in your scrolling era, even if you are in that distracting stage, that's okay. The key to inner work is to love yourself through every single step, every single process, every single emotion that you're feeling. None of them deserve your hatred, and none of them deserve your shame or your judgment. Love yourself through it. You are doing the best that you can with the information that you have right now, and you are moving forward. Even when you feel like, I didn't do any inner work today, I didn't do any healing today, I promise you, you did, because you're thinking about it, because you are on that trajectory of wanting to heal. So love yourself through it. So a couple of the takeaways are, it's going to get messy before it gets better every single time, all right? And love yourself through every single step. Everything that you are feeling is 100% valid, and it's 100% allowed. Love yourself through it. It is okay. It is the process. You cannot ever hate yourself better. You can't hate anyone into being a better person. You can, however, love and accept someone, and that naturally encourages them to be a better person. Now, if you are willing to do that for someone else, you need to be willing to do that for yourself. Your heavenly parents love you no matter what. Even when you're going through the darkest, the worst times in your life, and when you're making choices that are not in alignment with who you want to be, they will never hate you better. They will only love you and accept you right where you are. And when you connect with them and ask them, how can I be better? What can I do better? Then they will give you so many ways of helping you to move forward. Like, these are the thoughts that you need to be thinking. These are the emotions that are going to get you where you need to be. So love yourself through the process, and I promise you, it always gets better. And it always feels so good when you're able to purge and to get rid of the things that are not serving you. I have loved creating this episode for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something from it. If you would like to, please connect with me. You can connect through my private Facebook group, or you can connect with me through coaching. Also, please share this with anybody that you feel would benefit from it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I will talk to you next week.